Right. Let me see if I'm live inside. If anybody can comment to say that you can hear me okay. Hopefully I'll be able to see the... Yeah, I think we're live, Karen. We're live, Karen. So, hi everybody. It's Sophia here. I'm a 9-to-5 exit strategist and program launch coach, and I've been working with Karen Baney, who is an English teacher. And my guest today, we've been working on her membership site and on a website as well. And today we are launching our amazing website. So Karen has a knack for helping students in year 10, 11, and 12 to ace their GCSE grades. So this is amazing, right? Because, and I'm going to, Karen is going to introduce herself right now. And we're just going to chat and see where the idea came from and what's the course about, etc., etc. Okay, so get ready. So if you know anybody, a parent or a student that is in year 10, 11, and 12, I would love for you to put your hand up in the comments, to tag some of your friends, to share this video as much as you can, because what Karen is going to reveal, it's amazing. And I think a lot of the students in UK need to listen to this, okay? Because she's going to help them a lot. So, hi, Karen. Thank you for coming over.
Hello there.
Can you introduce yourself? Tell us who you are.
Yeah. So I'm Karen Baney. I'm an English teacher. I've been an English teacher for over 35 years. I don't really like to tell you exactly how long, but you know, over 35 years it'll be fine. And really what I do is I teach people how to pass GCSE English and A-level English. And that's what I've been doing all my life practically now. I have done other jobs in school, like I've been a head a year and I've been an assistant head, but actually I always come back to my passion, which is English teaching, because I do love it. And one of the things I really like to do is get children results, particularly children who are perhaps not very confident when they meet me, and I teach them some of the little tricks that they can use to try and make them feel more confident and give the examiner the sorts of things that they need in the exam so they get more marks.
And that is really, really good. I mean, you help students to trick the examiner.
It's not exactly a trick. It's just knowing what the examiner's thinking and what the examiner wants, because quite a lot of my students, they kind of get puzzled about the fact that although they can read and they can write and they write lots of things sometimes in a question, but that unfortunately they don't remember which sort of thing they should be writing. So for example, there's a structure question and a lot of kids get confused with that and they think it's a language question, so they write about language like similes and metaphors, when in fact they should be writing about structure, like the narrator and who the narrator is. So they have to know the right things to put in, the right questions. And actually it's like playing a game. If you know what the rules of the game are and you know which bits to put in, then you can actually not trick the examiner, but please the examiner by giving them the right things. So that's what I try and teach my students.
And it is a game, isn't it? Because they haven't got a clue. They haven't got the experience to know exactly what the examiner wants from them. And talking about games, we'll talk about this later, because Karen has inside her membership site course game boards to keep the students interested and interacting and engaging, right? And keeping track of what they're doing in a really nice and fun way. Karen, can you tell us what's the course about? Like the structure of it.
Yeah, so I've done like a series of 40 lessons. So it runs from September till June, and there's one lesson a week. And the idea is if they do my course one lesson a week and they look at my resources and they do a little bit of revision, then they should be fine to pass the GCSE, whatever stage they're at. I try and make sure that it's simple at the beginning so they understand it, but obviously I then add more details and more layers, and they can do more in the extra resources that they have. But one of the things I think is that often students get, teachers perhaps try and teach them far too much, so they get overloaded. Some of them just need to know the basic things to do in the exam in that particular question, and then move on from there. So I spend quite a lot of my time sort of making sure that they know those basic things and what to put, basically.
So you were going to have like a mirror image of a school terms, right? The students go into your private membership, and they're going to have first term, second term, third term, exactly the same dates as school, public school.
Exactly. Yeah. But what they'll do is, like, once a week, and I'm hoping maybe they'll spend some time with their parents doing this, because it'd be nice for their parents to get involved, and that would be great for them to see how they're getting on. But so once a week they'll watch one of my video lessons, and there'll be the PowerPoint that I obviously used in the video lesson, and there will be a workbook, so they'll be expected to do some little bits of work. They will self-assess themselves at the beginning, and as we go through we'll do some self-assessment, and then they can send me some things by email. So the idea of the course really is that I'm teaching them, but I'm teaching them online, and obviously because I'm online I can't actually sort of speak to them, but they can email me. And once a week, I will go live and answer their questions. So on a Wednesday night about 8 o'clock, I'm going to go live and answer any questions they might have. So I'm going to ask them to send me any questions that they are struggling with during the lessons.
So this is like an online tutor, right? Like having face-to-face, a one-to-one, but it's a one-to-many online, which is my motto. But and also is amazing because I think the student needs that accountability and that support. So it's not a course that you go in, this is not a course that you go in and you just have a bunch of worksheets and video tutorials and stuff like that, and then you're left alone, right? You are hand holding them all the way through until June, September till June.
The thing I love is to help students to improve and pass, and I love that when I've been doing it with students all my life. And you might have seen on my website I've got lots of students right back from 20 years ago who were willing to come on and give me lots of testimonials to say that I do what I say. And one of the things that I love is to see how students progress. So I want to be keeping an eye on you and making sure that you are doing my work, and that I can tell from the questions. Now, one of the ways I'm going to do that is we'll have a private Facebook group, and in that group you can put little chat to me, and I'll come on and I'll talk on a Wednesday evening at about 8 o'clock. I'll do a little bit of a talk about what stage we're at the course and so on. And what I'd love is for you to share some of your things. So share some pictures of things that you've done, maybe bits of work if you're brave enough to share them with other people, or also, when you've done the game boards, which Sophia mentioned, which is just to have a bit of fun, really. When you've done the game boards, if you could take a picture of yourself and put it on the Facebook, would be lovely. So anything that you can do. We'll also have some awards for, people who are getting involved in the Facebook group. So it should be quite fun, actually. I think you'll enjoy that part of it.
Yeah, and you know what? I think young people and people in general, and I'm including myself, I love learning through games. Right. I love it because it's like I'm playing, but at the same time, I'm learning. Right. I love that. And also, what else do you have inside your membership? So it's English language, the terms.
Yeah, so I've also offered some literature modules. Obviously, that's a little bit harder because to do remotely, because most of the kids will have done their literature at school. They'll have read their books with their teachers and so on. And so the idea of the part that I've put in for the literature is really revision of the key elements. Rather, it's the same sort of mindset. So in my opinion, what things do you need to say, for example, about Macbeth or Romeo and Juliet, in order to give the right points to the examiner to get your marks? So you'll have to say something about the context, you'll have to say something about the key themes and the characters. So I will go through those different things, and I will give you a revision booklet or a workbook on each of those texts to lead you through the main things that you should be saying and what things you should be revising, really. And you can choose to take those modules. So, obviously you'll have a choice between whether you're doing Macbeth or Romeo and Juliet or other Shakespeare plays, and I'm offering some of those different texts so that you can just choose one and take that one and work through it at your own pace.
Yeah, that's amazing. And literature is very close to my heart because before university, I did Portuguese, English, and French literature. My GCSEs is, like A level, O levels. I don't know what you call it before uni, but yeah. And also, what I was going to say is homeschooling, right? Can you tell us a bit about where your vision of creating this hub, this school, online school, where did it come from?
Well, it's just the idea that, so many people are having trouble at the moment with, homeschooling. And I've had so many of my friends saying, would I do some tutoring for them and so on? And obviously I've been teaching myself, so it's been difficult for me to do that. But I thought, well, actually, I've got all this experience, I've got all this knowledge, so this would be a really good time to put this out there. Yeah. And how I've done my lessons is it would be great if a parent wanted to spend some time with their children and go through the lessons with them and check their understanding and help them with the self-assessments and so on. It would be a lovely thing to do. And I know for a fact that if they go through these lessons, they will be able to pass the GCSE at the end, and the parents will understand, and they'll be able to help them the night before by saying, remember when we did that, this is the questions that are coming up. So it would be a really good tool, I think, for a homeschooler, because all of the things are there, all the materials and all of the lessons are there for them to be able to help their students to pass the GCSE.
I think it's brilliant. I think it's brilliant. I'll tell you why. I mean, when the current situation that we were in March hit, all the kids in the schools in Portugal, they all left the school, right? And we stayed at home, and it was a nightmare for me as a parent.
Teachers have to work on this all the time, but it's different when you're at home with your own.
Well, my kids were never been homeschooled. So I'm faced with the situation that and they're not autonomous because they don't have the training and the mindset to be autonomous, right? They go to school in the morning and they come back and they are guided by the teachers, not the parents. They're guided by the teachers in school. So they had to battle not only the mindset, but also I was freaking out. It took me, no word of a lie, Karen, 3 weeks to adjust to the whole situation, right? And bear in mind, in Portugal, I don't know about other countries, but there's probably quite a lot of other countries. Some kids don't even have a computer.
No, I know. That is a
problem. Don't have a computer, don't have internet connection. So it was a complete nightmare. But thank God, I put myself together. And
well, you probably did really well because you can teach 3 languages.
I did, and to be honest, I'm not maths. Maths for me is like but I teach my son some of the maths, and he turned around to me one day and said, "Mummy, I'm starting to get this now."
That's the bit that's lovely when you're a teacher, that's that moment. That's that sweet point when you're like, oh, wow, they're getting it. It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Yeah. And I experienced that,
Sorry.
And I experienced that, those 3 months of lockdown. Right. And my heart goes to any parent that homeschools because, and to all the teachers. I mean, I think you're amazing because you've got my son and my children all day while I'm working. So thank you.
It's different because obviously your own kids react to you differently, don't they? Because they see you in a different role. And obviously when you're a teacher, they see you as that particular role. So it is easier for us to do that. And also, remember, we've had the skills. We've been doing it all our lives. So it's something that comes naturally to us. And obviously, if you were put us in a different situation, it would be different. But I am glad. I was actually really pleased that people were so positive about teachers and realised that we do work pretty hard at what we do. And we have got the children's interest at heart that was nice to hear from people.
Yeah,
I had a lot of positive feedback from people about me as a teacher then.
So if anybody has any questions for Karen, I can't see. Wait a minute, let me put the comments on. See if anybody has any questions for Karen, you can put the comments down below, or even later when this live video is finished, please put the comments if there's something that has resonated, or if you want to ask something to Karen. I've got a few questions to ask Karen. And the first one is, can a parent work with the children to help them catch up all the work that they're doing?
Yes, well, actually, one of my neighbours has started doing my course, because obviously I wanted to help her with her son, and her son's in year 11, and she feels that he's missed a lot of work, and so she said, would it help him? And I said, well, yes, I think any child in 10, 11 or 12 who is going to reset would be helped by it. But she was sort of saying to me that he started the course and he looked at my lesson about similes and metaphors, and he said to her, oh, I know all about similes and metaphors. And then she said he got really engaged in it and really liked it, and he learned a lot about the different tips that I taught him, and he came out of it saying, I really want to do more of it. And she said that he needed that kind of reassurance, and that's partly, if they do my course, it reassures them that actually, yes, I know that is what I know, I know how to do that question, and I'm more confident because I've just gone through this course. I think, yeah, if that teacher's been saying that, if Karen Baney's been saying that, then that's obviously something that I should have been doing, and I'm really pleased I know how to do it. But she said that some of my tips helped him, like how to remember things and so on. So I felt very encouraged about that, because he's in coming into year 11 now. So I mean, I have taught for many years, but sometimes when you're doing something slightly different, you're not quite sure. So it was a nice, reassuring thing to hear that, it was hitting the mark, which is what I wanted it to do. So
yeah, and you are the expert.
Yeah, well, exactly.
You are the expert. So can somebody use this course instead of getting their children a weekly tutor, which is much more expensive, obviously? So can they use this and then take the GCSEs? How does that work?
Yes, of course they can. So if you're a homeschooler, basically you can just use my lessons, use the lessons with your children as you would normally. So teach them, go through it with them, read through the thing, check their understanding and so on, and get them and work on the work together with them. And when you've been through the different lessons, all you have to make sure that you've done is to register your child at a school, an exam centre, to actually take the exam. So the only thing you have to do apart from doing my course is to register at an exam centre, because they will have to be registered to take the exam at a nearby exam centre. But
sorry to interrupt you, but for example, I know a lot of English people here that are following the English curriculum, right? Is it possible for them to do the course from Portugal and then go, for example, to Lisbon to take the exam?
Yes, exactly that. Yeah. So they'll have the exam. I have put in the introduction part, I've put various documents which tell you exactly what the exam that I'm mainly aiming at is the AQA exam, but actually the EdXL exam is very similar. So either of those you could take, but I've aimed it at the AQA exam. So basically in the information I've given you, you'll know exactly what exam paper you're doing, and the numbers on it and so on, what you have to put down on the application to take the exam. And then, yeah, you just go through the course, do the revision, and go and sit the exam at the end. If you're doing literature, the same thing, really. Obviously, if you aren't with a teacher and you're doing my literature course, you'll have to read the books yourself, which is one of the things I won't have time to do in the time. Yeah. You will have to have read the text, and my advice would also be to watch some of the films of the texts as well, so you've got a bit of a good understanding of the story. But then, if you use my lessons, you will have enough to be able to pass that exam.
So this is amazing, because somebody keeps on calling me. This is amazing because you can actually be reaching out to British students, but in different countries, right? Yeah. That I like. I love that.
We had someone in France contact me to say her children were doing the English GCSE. So she said, would she be able to do it? And I said, yeah, as long as she can have an exam centre that she can do it at, then yeah, that would be fine.
Yeah, I mean, this is amazing. This is the way to go. This is the way forward to go, right? Because of what's happening around the world, you never know. And if you are following the English curriculum, then Karen is your woman. And I'm so proud of you, because I'm so proud to be included in this project and to build the membership site for you, because I'm learning as well while I'm putting the content inside, while we're discussing the content, I'm learning as well. And I'm possibly going to put my kids on for it as well. So you never know, they've got double nationality, my kids, so you know, they can go and study in uni in the UK if they want to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you were saying that you've enjoyed working with me. I've enjoyed working with you because one of the things I'm really bad at is the technology side of the website and how to do all of that. So I've learned a lot from you as well, and it's been brilliant working with you on this project so that we can get some of this out to people. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you so much. And yeah, this is what I love doing, you know, getting people to see the possibilities that there are by creating their own, by utilizing their passion and their expertise and creating a private, a confidential hub where they're hosting their group. It could be, I normally work with coaches and their group programs. And let me just put something up. And I normally work with coaches, but I've worked with educators as well, just like yourself, Karen. And I love it because you have an expertise. You are passionate about what you do, and the world needs to see what you do. So this is no better way. Tell us about the offer that is happening with the Expert English Teacher.
Yeah, so I didn't really want to make it too expensive because I feel that the idea of it is that, you know, tutors are quite expensive to have once a week. And so obviously instead they're going to have me as an online tutor. But I wanted the cost to be about the price of something like, say, them going for a swimming lesson or a gym class or something like that. So and the early bird offer, it's about just under £10 a week. So it's $39.95 a month, and that's for 10 months from September to June. So if they want to pay the whole lot at once, they can pay £320 so that it's all paid off.
And still get 20% discount.
Yeah, and get 20%
no brainer.
Because it be affordable, really. Yeah.
A private tutor is so expensive, and even here in Portugal, it really is very expensive. My daughter went to a private tutor last school term. She did a group. It's still very, very expensive, and it's more than £10 a week. That's for sure. So this is amazing. I think a lot of people should take this opportunity because this is your founding members launch, right? This is your this is the first time that you're putting this together. And I can see that you're so proud of it, and I am really happy.
What's been lovely is because I asked about 10 students that I used to know, because I was a year head. Lots of my ex-year group contacted me on Facebook and kept me on Facebook after they left school. We're allowed to keep contact with people once they've left, and I have so many people. And about 10 of them I asked whether, you know, would you maybe be interested in giving me a testimonial? And I had absolutely hundreds of people replying to me, because actually, you know, I have a lovely relationship with my ex-students, and they're all very proud of me, and it's really nice. They're very pleased about me doing this. So I'm hoping that I can help more students now by getting them to pass the GCSE English. So yeah.
I'm trying to put the link to your website, but I can't. This is really awkward because I haven't actually used StreamYard on my personal profile before, and it's all grayed out. So if anybody is having questions, Karen, we'll have to tackle them later.
Okay. just to say then, my site is called expertenglishteacher.co.uk, and just a little story about how I got the name, the idea of the logo, which was it's a sea monster with a mortarboard on, and my brother he called me a sea monster when I was a little child. He called me a kraken because he'd been reading this book called The Kraken Waits, and he thought that I looked like a sea monster, which obviously I don't, obviously. But anyway, I used it as a little metaphor for the idea of the journey of our students through this course, the idea of, getting in my ship with me in our expert English crew, which is short for EEC, obviously. And then we'll sail across the sea and defeat the sea monster by throwing that monster, the monster examiner, lots of bits of food and a leg of lamb, a bit of beef, something to satisfy her, so that she's got lots of things, lots of lovely points that gives us lots of marks, and then they will get their GCSEs. So that was the idea of it, really. And actually you and I had a bit of fun with that, haven't we, making our game boards and our little logo and so on.
Yes, we had a few. I'll put below the video later on some of the images for the game boards, because they're like, we got to show it to the people. You got to show it to them. It was fun, and it's amazing because you're telling a story, so you're not just guiding them through the waters, the murky waters, but you are supporting them and giving them all these tidbits, and fighting the monster, the sea monster. That's an amazing metaphor as well.
I like the idea of it. I mean, I didn't want it to come across as too young, but I think it's quite fun because the idea of any child, it's their progress that's important, and it's where they start. And I know that a lot of people taking my course will be really unsure about their English and worried about it, whether they've missed things. And I'm just hoping that doing my course will build their skills and their confidence, and finally give them the ability to get through the GCSE exam and do well in it. And I really want them to do as best as they possibly could do in their GCSE exam. So that's what my purpose is, and I shall be so pleased if that happens. So I'm hoping people are going to let me know at the end of the course what they got in their GCSE.
Yes, I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. If not, they'll ask again. Ask again until they will. I absolutely love this live with you, Karen, and we've got more work to do in the back end of the membership. So we're working on all the terms, content, and workbooks and this and that. So I can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to be amazing. Guys, if you know anybody that's a parent, or if you are a parent yourself with kids that are following the English curriculum on year 10, 11, and 12, do share this video with them. Tag them down below in the comments. Just spread the word, because this is amazing. We start on the 31st of August, 2020. And then do the doors close? I can't remember now.
We were doing the early bird offer, and
yes, the early bird closes.
Yeah, near the beginning of September, because obviously we want to get people in like in a normal term where they're doing they have the chance by doing their lessons once a week, and they actually can get on with it. If they come in too late, it'll be, they'll be on catch up, and then I think they will find it more difficult. But obviously we'll try and accommodate anybody who wants to come along.
Yeah, and also just quickly before we go, you are helping year 12s as well to reset in November of 2020 or June 2021.
Yeah. So the idea of the year 12s is that they often come back in and they want to be able to do the GCSE really quickly in November. And that is quite a tricky thing, really. My recommendation would be to try and do it in June, because, they have the chance to do all my lessons and revisit all of the things maybe that they didn't find easy before. And they've got a much better chance of it. When I've taught children in school, some of them have passed in November, but a lot of them actually need that longer period of time to go back over things. So when I've taken on resit kids who've come in the sixth form, I think June would be better.
Sorry, is it better for them to call you?
I think I think it'd be better if we talked about it, because it depends what stage they're at. And if they wanted to try and do it early, then I could give them some advice and work with them about it, and tell them which things they needed to do depending on what they know already. So,
and you have sorry, I'm just thinking about these things. You have an assessment as well, right?
Yes,
you have an assessment when they go into the welcome dashboard,
which they can show me how they got on and what they think about where they are at the moment, and then we can go from there. So year 12s are very welcome to come to the course, and I've kind of tailored it for them to be doing it at the end of June, but if any of them want to be taking it early, if they let me know, we'll talk about what things they'd need to do to get themselves to that stage. Yeah,
that's great. So guys, you can call Karen on
something else before you just actually year 10s, they, obviously year 10s will come in and they'll do this year 10 course, which is my core course, and then that'll obviously give them enough to be able to pass the GCSE. But if they want to go, when they go into year 11, I've got a slightly more advanced course for them, so that will boost their grades further, so they can do that if they want to.
Sonia, thank you for the link. Somebody's just put, I can see the comments now. That is so nice. Amazing. Yeah, so Sonia Gavira has just put the link to the expert English teacher.
Oh, that's very kind.
Thank you. Thank you. So
good. And so then people in year 11 will want to do my course just because they've missed stuff in year 10, and this course will be fine for them as well. So year 10 or year 11 or year 12, any of those people will find it valuable, I think.
Yeah, because you have core content that it's uniform for all years.
Yes, yeah.
But then on year 11 and year 12, you have different kind of revisions.
Yes, exactly.
So we all know, like year 10, nobody, they don't do GCSEs in year 10, right?
Yeah, so we just do the end of year revision for the exams that they do with their teachers at the end of year 10, and then they go on, if they want to, into year 11, and then at the end of year 11, obviously, they do their final GCSE. But year 11 will need to get on with the lessons, go through the core course, make sure that they've done it by the end of May, because their exams will be in June, and the same for year 12.
Yeah, cool. So, I mean, it will be amazing to see year 10s, because the year 10s are going to follow the journey with you until the end, right? So, and that will be amazing to see that success stories and that journey going through your membership. So I think we've got 30 minutes. So yes, I mean, guys, if you have any questions for Karen, please put them in the comments. We'll come back later and put all relevant links. I really enjoyed talking to you, Karen. Thank you very much for coming live on a short notice, because we were talking this morning. I was like, I launched the website and I was like, let's go in. But yes, thank you so much for coming over. And cool. If you don't have anything else to say, Karen.
No, thank you very much for all your input and your enthusiasm. All right, I think it's been really nice to have you. Yeah, as a cheerleader for my course. So thank you, Sophia.
I am called that often. So, guys, again, if anybody's interested in or are thinking about creating your membership sites, your courses, your group programs, please give me a shout. I've got a link down below as well for the radicalLaunchSystem.com, and we can talk about it. If you're still on the fence, or if you're not sure, or if you think you're not ready, this hasn't been the best time for this, right? If you start building your online business online 100%, it's going to be sustainable and consistent system that you have in your hands. So that's all I want to say right now. I'm available to chat, and Karen is available to chat as well about the Expert English Teacher School. So let's celebrate, Karen. Let's go and drink glass of wine.
I don't know about that. But anyway, yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Karen. I'll speak to you all very soon. Bye for now.
Bye.